Give it up one more time for Orion. Just gotta adjust this. All right. Next. Oh, I probably should have asked how to say this. Well, get ready to get your name lightly butchered. Coming to the stage, it's Alvaro Mendoza. All right, nailed it. He's doing some comedy.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for having me here. You guys think when Paul Revere went on that ride, you think 40 minutes in, his horse was like, can you shut up? You know? But he's a horse, so he's like, yeah, I don't know. That's a dumb one to start off with. I don't know. I'm a big fan of ice cream. I've always liked ice cream, specifically Klondike bars. Those were always my favorite. You know, they had this slogan. They were like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? You know, if it comes down to it, I'll just purchase one. You know, I don't care, guys. I'm crazy. I'll go into that store, and I promise you, I will slam down $2 on that counter. I was gonna say bitch, but counter maybe. I don't know. You guys come here a lot. Is this like a community that's like? Okay, cool. I've never seen a boba place with this much action going on. It's like there's like multiple PlayStations and like 14,000 Polaroids. You know what I mean? I'm traveling, so I'm like, maybe I should fucking get into this bitch. I don't know. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have a dad that is old. My dad, my dad is 83. Yeah, he is old. That's right. People are like, yeah, how old? And you say 83, they're like, oh shit, that is old. You know? I don't know if you guys know this. When you have a dad that's that old, you're in charge. You know? I'm my father's dad, guys. You know? The other day we went to a liquor store. As soon as you walk into the store, everyone stops and looks at you. And they're like, are you gonna be in charge of that liability over there? You know, my dad put a little drink on the counter, and the cashier looked at me for like approval. You know, he was like, is he allowed to be having peppermint schnapps? You know, I don't know. He's really old, man. He's in a nursing home, which sad, but I like it. You know, I'll visit him. When I visit him, usually I'm the hottest one there. You know, it's nice to be like the most desired thing in a building. You know, some lady's like, oh, he's cute. I'm like, you're goddamn right, Ethel. I'm gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you something else about myself. I wrestle, and but I'm not in high school. Yeah, I don't know. I'm an assistant wrestling coach for like a high school team. Yeah, so the person up here is like, so it's not gay. So it is gay. No one knows if it's gay. We'll find out, I guess, as I do this bit. I don't know. Well, stay tuned. Maybe one day I'll have a Polaroid up here. It'll just say wrestling guy underneath it. Oh, that's too bad. I'll be the second one. It'll be like wrestling guy number 2. I don't know, guys, I didn't choose to be an assistant wrestling coach. I just wrestled in high school, and I wanted to keep wrestling. But when you get older, there aren't places where you can just show up and wrestle. Like, there's no pickup wrestling. You can't just show up at a court and start grabbing people. You know? That's how you end up in court. You know, some guy's like, hey man, you want next game? I'm like, I would love next game. He's like, basketball? I'm like, no, I want your leg. You know? I like the job, though. I like beating up 14-year-olds. You know? I wasn't very good at wrestling in high school, but I am now. You know? Every time they never see it coming, they're always like, Coach, how did you get into my house at 3 a.m? I know. I knew. I felt the vibe in this place. I knew breaking into the house at 3 a.m. is... I don't know. But actually, fun fact, wrestling is not a very popular sport in progressive states. It's like more of a conservative sport, you know? Which I always thought was funny. It's like in the place where they accept gayness the least, they're like, you grabbed his balls? That's fantastic. You know? But you tell a gay person that you wrestle, and they're like, in a progressive state, they're like, you're gay. You know? I'm not actually hired by the school. You know? But I don't tell people because of how you just reacted. You know what I mean? Because like if you tell people that you're now the guy at a high school wrestling practice that's unaffiliated, you know, some kid will go home and be like, Mom, I learned a new move from Coach Alvaro. You like my kid voice? I've been working on it. I don't know. I learned a new move from Coach Alvaro. She's like, Coach Alvaro, is that one of the new wrestling coaches? He's like, no, he's just kind of there. You know? Oh, that was a tough end. I'll one last thing. I'll get out of here. Do you guys think when a dog sees a white guy being racist towards a black guy, you think the dog is like, just because he's like more gray? All right, I think I killed. All right, take it easy. You guys were amazing. Give it up for your host. Let's keep this thing going, huh?
Give it up one more time for Alvaro. I probably said their name wrong twice. My brain isn't great at that. All right.